Here we go. Okay. Doink. There we go. Let me just do that way. Then can I get like me in there? Alrighty. Schmippity boopties. Hopefully. There we go. Hello. Cool. There we go. Lined up. Alright, so I got some barbecue chicken pizza for the day. That's what's for breakfast. Getting into, let's see here. I did some little bit of gaming this morning. Played some Magic with Quasi. Played some RuneScape with myself. And also took care of some stuff that I needed to, so that was good. I actually don't know if this thing's looking good. So let me just open up this. It should be fine. Yeah, I guess aesthetic is the medium, so maybe I should be like properly concerned about this. So here we go. Let me just there we go. I'm also down here, so that's what's up. So there we go. We got 2 points. Okay, now let's begin. What is it I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about today? Thursday, May 20th, 2021. I could talk about that. Grail and I went over a few things yesterday that I thought were pretty helpful. It was about pretty much like replacing things that maybe you don't want to have as habits in your life with empowering alternatives. Came up with this list that I'm going to kind of review. So remember, it made me feel good when I kind of was going over it or writing it. So I would like to have that fresh on my mind. Yeah, that's good. We got proper lighting. So let's see. Instead of doing things that maybe wouldn't get us where we want to be or have us feeling how we want to feel, or yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, feelings. Because I feel like physiology is definitely a big thing, but like, so, diet and exercise is huge. But I think mindset's really big as well. So replacing things with, here's some constructive replacers. Some empowering alternatives to stuff that maybe you want to stop doing, but also not leave the void unfilled. So, meditation. So, meditation's super powerful. You can kind of help yourself stay aligned with you. So maybe not be under, I don't want to say influence, but having thoughts dominate your mind. I feel like can be healthy if it's, say, constructive for you, but at the same time, if it's aligned with you and how you just want to be, like at your very core, I feel like you're gonna figure out how best you would like to go about X, Y, or Z thing. So, so meditating is pretty valuable because you get to kind of center yourself and stay grounded. You can't really be wrong if you're acting from a place of like alignment. So yeah, so that's a potential try out. There's an app called Headspace. It's like 10 minutes. I think some of them are even like 3 to 4 minute little like guided meditations. Super helpful. So yeah, gym or exercise. I don't want to say the gym because the gym's like the business version of exercise where it's like, well, you can go pay to feel like you need to move around. You could literally just get up and move around. You can go walk around outside. Like you can take, there's a lot of value being able to go to a park or get some fresh air in your lungs and just move around. I think you're going to be better off and happier that you did than maybe not doing it. So that's pretty good. Then we chatted about for a little bit practice. I was asking you about it because I don't really practice enough. I don't have something that I like break out every day. I've been doing this grabbing the ukulele lately. It's kind of fun. It's something I enjoy. I'm not gonna destroy your ears real quick, but just as like a yeah, just as a little like fun thing that you maybe like consistently brush up on. I, as part of my end game, am gonna be very proficient in using the turntables, so being able to mix music together seamlessly and in a way that entertains me, so I could have fun with it. But I want to be good at that, so that I don't just like sloppily toss things in people's face that are kind of like non-complimentary, I would say. So I wanna be able to like tell cohesive stories by chaining together just a chunk of songs. So that's part of like my view towards what I want to do with DJing. I don't have this like natural inherent fascination with it, but I do know as a music producer that it's kind of like it's like I was saying with him, it was like the guitar of that realm, being able to make music using other music. It's kind of like a tool for me as a producer, so I can kind of express stuff in real time that maybe I would be doing in a digital audio workstation. So that's kind of cool. Next, outside of practice and maybe you're chipping at the path of mastery, creativity, or I would say work, but like work that's correlated with your dreams. So things that where if you executed and finished it, you'd be able to be more like, you'd be grateful for tomorrow, that you say sat down and gave something the time that it needed, that maybe you wanted to give it. So that's good. So yeah, you could fill the void with meditation, exercise, practice, something that you want to just get decent at. Back in the day, I met an acting coach, this is more context. I was working on a movie. It was like a pretty decent movie, and there was an acting coach that was there to make sure that people were properly executing and staying aligned with how they should, like when they're executing this, like the scene, or making sure that they're like properly aware of like their actions, I guess you can say, or like the reason that they're doing what they're doing in that scene. So helping the whole story stay cohesive. And he mentioned, when I asked him about like practices that I can incorporate into my day, or he said just having 45 minutes, so like it was like 30 to 45 minutes of just monologues prepared, just being able to on demand perform. So to me, as an artist, and I would say, I don't want to say an aspiring performance artist, because I do like just kind of expressing and like practicing aloud and then calling it something. Like if I pick up a ukulele, there's no songs that I just know, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I do like playing it, so it's like if I could just get comfortable enjoying playing it, for me that's kind of what it means to me. So I don't have to like be a certain this or that. But there is value to say I had like 5 tracks or 5 songs, or for specific use cases or intent, or that meant something to me, that every single day, no matter what, I played, I practiced, I showed up to. So I think that's the value of practice, is being able to just be the real deal. So if you're ever in a situation where maybe opportunity arises to say, allow you to share something, or maybe the moment requires a little bit of something, you have it. So there's a value to that, and I think that makes you more valuable as a person when you show up anywhere, so that maybe dull moments won't be so dull. And I don't know if I'd say that's the reason for it, but I just know having a practice for something where it's like, well, I'm a performance artist. Sweet. So can you share a performance with us? Oh. I could just ramble on, So it's like, other than just that, you could say, sure, like, let's do something. And maybe you have like a list of songs that you have that every single day for the past 45 days, or like years, 2 years, or like a year or something, you've practiced every single day. So you have like fun, different renditions of it. And at that point, you're like acquiring mastery within this performance, and maybe discarding performances that you didn't like, or whatever it might be. But eventually, now say through showing up every day to that practice, you have this refined thing that you could bring value with. So maybe you can share with people, like, I don't want to say like your capacity for performance, but like what you're about. So maybe you start practicing something that you were about. So it doesn't, like, you don't have to say that you're the real deal. You just are it. So that was very impactful, and it helped me along the way. I wrote be an inspiration, but that's kind of arbitrary. It's like very loose and vague. But I think that if we take action in the direction of the things that maybe have inspired us, and like show up for stuff that we want to show up for ourselves, that maybe we think can better aid us being the us that we most wish to show up or act as, if that makes sense. I'm trying to say, like, acting as if, so like you're already the thing that you want to be type vibes. So it's hard, because I'm like, well, if I just say, well, work towards your goals, and it's like, okay, but now act like you already are the thing you want to be. Now it's like, well, that's kind of weird, because I'm supposed to just be that thing if apparently I'm supposed to act like it. But it's like, I guess it's like the practice and like defining maybe how you would, as that thing, show up every day. And that, I guess that's the inspiration in itself. It's kind of like, you're not, like I said, be an inspiration. I've seen it before, and it's like, okay, what version of you is most inspiring for you to work towards? Okay. Now, like, if you incorporate constructive habits in your life and show up to them for like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, that's a you that you would never have had you not given those 30, 60, 90 days to yourself. So at the end of those, there's a 30-day version of you that's an inspiration to your current self. There's a 60-day and a 90-day, X, Y, or Z. It's in whatever scale you want to, you could do like 3, 6, 5 days, like, 3, 6, or 9 days. So that's really up to you on how you want to view it. And you can even bust it down to minutes or hours or whatever. So being an inspiration, that's something where, those are like, it's kind of like creating a plan and following it, and then enjoying the byproduct of the you that you decided to show up as. So that's inspirational to me. So showing up, contributing to the scene. So yeah, these are, I guess, were the empowering alternatives to, say you have a habit in your life or something you want to kind of like opt out of. That's maybe just things that you can then adopt to fill that void. I think there's a lot of value to starting small. Like, even if you were like, I'm going to work out every day for an hour, that's a big goal. That's a lot. First off, you hit the everyday thing. Then you said, I'm going to do an hour every time. So opposed to just doing that off rip, if that's what you surely want yourself to be acting as and showing up as every day, then maybe start to do that every day for, I'll say every day, but if it was like start every other day, or maybe like 3 times a week for 10 minutes. And 3 times a week for 10 minutes you started working out, because you can always add more once you begin. It's just that getting yourself to show up. Sometimes these big audacious goals, or what, like, things we think we need ourselves to do, can discourage us from even showing up to begin the practice in the first place that we know we want to be. So I would say there's a value to starting smaller, and I think that you can, if you start smaller, that's pretty much just, I just said, you'll get yourself to show up, because it'll appear easier, and maybe you just didn't maybe it was poorly constructed saying every day 1 hour, and it's like, oh, I'm beat, and it's like, maybe you just stop altogether rather than refine that so you can continue on, because maybe that 1 hour a day, maybe your body's not ready to just like have a mad shift, and it'll take a lot of willpower. That, not saying we don't have the willpower, we can summon it up. I feel like if we don't, we're going to have to endure a lot of suffering. And I'd rather take like tidbits of sacrifice along the way that could then grow into something. Because like, what if you just started lifting and you wanted to do weightlifting? I would rather do small, light, controlled efforts to make sure you can properly build stuff. And as it grows, then you can up the weight gradually, and before you know it, you have the strength in real time, rather than like this forced harmful exercises on your weaker self. So then the next thing was one that I don't really mess with, or not mess with, but I don't usually do. I don't get out much. I do, but I'll go like grab coffee and like take some notes or create somewhere else, or I'll go up to the cabin and just work towards my dreams or my goals or whatever I want to complete or work on or practice. But I don't go out and experience live scenes. Like I love niche-based music. I think dubstep is the greatest thing. It's amazing, and it's very subjective because there's so many different ways that you can, that it can be interpreted as. There's a lot of subgenres within these genres, but for me, as a music producer, it's the most fascinating to refine. And artists like Peekaboo, Skrillex, Space Laces, Getter, they are, for me, they're inspirations because they practice the sound design, but they're also, they have they're, I don't know how to say it, I love like their taste. It's their taste of music that's in alignment or harmonious with mine. So that taste is something that I want to refine also. And I mean, I can consider it like niche bass music. But when I say show up, wow, I don't want to get too far on that tangent. I meant like, who am I like buying tickets for and like just going to and listening to, like watching somebody perform. I know that I'm in Michigan, so like there's definitely shows going on. There's definitely people shredding, and there's definitely a culture and a community to that culture that I want to bring value to and contribute to by music production. So I think that there's nothing bad that can come out of me being present in this community or this scene. So contributing to the scene and just showing up, I kind of don't like it. There's a lot about me that's like kind of, I don't want to say social anxiety, but like it's new. It's new to go out there. I don't dance at all. I don't get out and do that. If I go, I'll literally go to these shows and then I'll like hear something I really fancy. If I moved, but I'll hear something and I'll just like take note of it and like want to incorporate it into my practices. I don't know what that is, but I feel like it's nicer just being there in the first place. And then maybe you get like an opportunity arises where you're like, whoa, I can appreciate this because this is in alignment with my end goals, and I say respect this individual as an artist or whatever it might be. And yeah, so showing up to say the environment that you wish to contribute to, because even your presence is enough to be a contribution in the first place. So that gradual muscle building. So that's one thing as an empowering alternative I want to do. I want to be more of a part of the community that I think is really fascinating to me. Next, the one thing is like, I kind of looked at like no alcohol, or like alcohol is like a bad thing for it. I mean, if it's in moderation, I think that it can be healthy, like a healthy social lubricant, and kind of help you maybe enjoy the moment a little bit. And I say enjoy it. I mean, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not one to like go out to bars or like go out and drink a bunch or like hell even drink in general. I can definitely enjoy a beer here or there, but I'm usually like to hang out with a buddy and game a little bit, and then like compete, and then maybe that would be kind of cool to drink a little bit. But I don't really look into it or look after, but I don't look forward to it. It's not like something that I think about. So maybe that's not bad to maybe easing my way into the social setting. So health, then so like focusing on your health is like definitely I think that's why we do these empowering alternatives anyways, but because maybe some aspect of our life is a little bit unhealthy, but just relaxing through it, because you can approach anything however you want, and there's a lot of value to just showing up and having a tamed vibration that you're in control of. And I think if you have this kind of relaxed feeling about stuff, you can kind of take things in, process them, and decide how you want to act about them or feel about them. And you don't need to do that from a frantic standpoint or vibration. You could just relax your way through everything, even if it's the most demanding experience of you being. I don't know. I think there's a danger that comes in like allowing your vibration to be bended towards maybe the way somebody might want it to be making you feel, like to where if you can just come from this grounded, centered you point, you can extract or contribute or show up to X, Y, or Z situations exactly how you want to be without like regrets or anything of that nature. So, yeah. Then there is, let's see, acceptance and love, like self-acceptance and love. The meditation you mentioned. But yeah, that was pretty much it actually. Yeah, so there's a few things that I feel you can use as empowering alternatives for maybe habits that you want to start taking out of your life or moving far away from, or maybe cutting out completely. So let's just say evolving. I know I do eat way too much fast food, and I don't, and it's not to say it's bad, you know, it definitely, it's not something I want though. So I'm realizing that I would prefer my life to exist without as much unhealthy food in it, and I would also prefer my life to exist with a little bit more movement. So there's that. So yeah, I think easing our way into it and just showing up to the us that we want to be more frequently, it will be pretty good. So yeah, that was let's see, empowering alternatives, a daily update or whatever, vlog, future me, don't forget about these things vibes. Because even the feeling of like, oh, these could possibly be good for me, is a worthy start. Because I mean, hell, it's like we have to tackle that thinking about it, or like thought hurdle that maybe gets us to take the motivation to say, yeah, that's actually a good idea, and I'm gonna go to the park and walk today for 5 minutes. Maybe that 5 minutes is more enjoyable than I thought, and I just stopped thinking about time. And then I'm taking a nice long walk, and I maybe explore a little bit and get some fresh air in my lungs. So, yeah. But other than that, yeah, I'm glad I got to make this video, and thanks for tuning in if you did. Yeah, Spouse Reynolds out. Farewell.